Hey Wobble Gang, I do hope you are doing great. My name is Ollie. Hit that subscribe button if you love a good Reddit story. Alright, let's get into our first story of the day. Our first story of the day comes from Santa Visit Throw in the Am I the Arsehole subreddit, and it says, Am I the a-hole for backing out of my dad's Christmas party after his fiancée took my baby to meet Santa behind my back? I live a 5-minute walk away from a mall, and they opened up their Christmas display a few days ago. My husband and I were planning on taking our son, who is 8 months old, there for his first visit to Santa this past Saturday. My dad's fiancée is a very self-centered person. Most recently, she tried to post about my pregnancy on social media before I did, and confirm their wedding date, which has since been changed twice at my sister's birthday party. I'm not fond of her, but she's not usually too hard to tolerate. My immediate paternal family gets together for a small party every year on Christmas Eve. This time, my dad and his fiancée are hosting. I was going to attend it with my husband and our son. Last Thursday, I had a business meeting while my husband was also at work. My dad and his fiancée came over to babysit. I spent some time chatting with them before leaving, and they mentioned our weekend plans, including how we were taking our baby to see Santa. When I got home, my dad's fiancée showed me pictures of herself with my baby and the mall Santa. I don't even have pictures of just my son. She's in all of them. She explained that my dad had wanted to take a nap, so she took my son out on a stroll. She went to the mall, saw the Christmas display, and couldn't resist taking my son there herself. Let me make this clear. I'm not too much of a Christmas person, and neither is my husband. But she was well aware we were looking forward to doing this with our son. I'm also upset that my dad napped while babysitting, because we wouldn't have had them watch our baby if we knew it would ultimately just be her. And I never gave either of them permission to remove my child from my place while babysitting. I confronted her and said we wanted to take him ourselves, but she acted confused and claimed she didn't realize it was such a big deal and just wanted to have some fun with the baby. My dad also dismissed my feelings and said I was being dramatic. I grabbed my son and told them to leave. My husband was as upset as I was. We decided we wouldn't attend the Christmas party anymore. We'll figure out something else, but we don't want to spend our baby's first Christmas with her. We made it official over the weekend. A lot of my family has replied that they're not coming if I don't, so now my dad is begging me to change my mind. There's still over a month left before Christmas, and I want to sort this out as soon as possible. I don't want to attend, but I also don't want to ruin the party. Am I the a-hole? Update. Oh my goodness, where do I even start? I swear, I've read a lot of crazy stories, but this one takes the bloody cake. First of all, who in their right mind thinks it's acceptable to hijack a baby's first Santa moment? And all because she couldn't resist. Are you serious right now? Like, there's taking liberties, and then there's just outright crossing the line. She's not even officially family yet, and she's already acting like she's running the show. And wait, hold on, because this part kills me. Your dad taking a nap while supposedly looking after his own grandchild. That's not babysitting. That's taking an unpaid holiday. You'd think they'd learn by now to respect boundaries and simple family moments. But no, they doubled down on the audacity. So, you're not attending the Christmas event now, huh? Frankly, I don't blame you. I mean, why on earth should you want to celebrate an occasion with people who clearly don't respect your family plans? And now, your dad's begging you because others are following suit. Cry me a river. I know I'm not the only one losing it right now. Tell me I'm crazy, but that was embarrassing.
Someone says, not the a-hole. I think it's very concerning that she took your young baby somewhere very public while your dad napped without your knowledge. But don't stress too much about Santa. Obviously, she's an a-hole for that too. But your kid won't remember at all. Just pretend this is the first time. OPO responds, I know you won't remember it, but I don't think that matters much. We were really looking forward to it. That said, the fact she took him out of my place without permission to do something like that infuriates me. A Reddit user says, she should have asked your permission to take your baby anywhere outside the house. She knew full well what she was doing. Was this to show off and pose for her? I don't blame you. Still do it anyway with the Santa picture with the family. Don't let her steal that from you. Stick to it about not going. This needs to send a clear message to your father. He is trying to smooth this over.
A Reddit user says, "Go ahead and take your son to see Santa. He won't remember that he was already there, so get the pictures you want. As for the party, does your husband's family do anything on Christmas Eve? Maybe you can get together with them. If you see them on Christmas Day, or if they live far away, then get together with the family that won't go to your dad's party. Show him that there are consequences for his and his fiance's actions." OP provides more information in the comments by stating, "Not on Christmas Eve, but some of my in-laws get together every year for Christmas. My husband doesn't want to go because it's a lot of people and they're pretty loud. My maternal family also has yearly Christmas parties. I attend when I can, but it's in a different state and we can't travel comfortably right now. My mom and stepdad are going to Europe for the holidays." SunnyB817 chimes in, "You're not the asshole. She purposefully took away that special memory and tarnished it. You only get a first time once, and she knew that. Also, how self-centered is she that she had to be in every picture? It couldn't just be the baby? That's how you know her intentions were cruel and narcissistic. I agree. Have your own party or find another party to attend that day." OP responds, "That also bothers me. I wouldn't have wanted these pictures either way, but why does she feel the need to be in all of them?" Weeks later, the OP returns with an update and shares, "A little under 2 weeks after my first post, my husband and I took our baby to a different mall and visited Santa there. Their display wasn't as big as the one from the mall near our place, but it was more colourful and they had a nicer tree. We explored the area with our son afterwards, and I came very close to tears watching the way he reacted to everything. We also took the opportunity to get some Christmas shopping and charity stuff done. Overall, we had a wonderful day. It didn't make either of us forget what happened, but I'll cherish those memories forever." In other news, out of the 15 people who had been invited to the party, not including my son, only 4 are still attending. 2 people from my paternal family and 2 from my dad's fiancées, the only 2 she invited. My relatives who didn't back out of the party are my dad's cousin, who is visiting from a different country and staying at his place, and my grandmother, who doesn't seem to understand what's going on. I want to stress that getting my family members involved wasn't my intention. I told both my cousins what happened because we plan Secret Santa for the party every year. That's where the news spread from. There was also a weird domino effect going on with different parts of the family. "I'm not coming, so neither are my parents" type stuff, which contributed to the number of people who backed out. Communication with my dad has been complicated. He's blaming his fiancée for causing the problem, but also me for being emotional and ruining everything. The first time we tried to talk, he made a very offensive comment I couldn't overlook, and then accused me of being dramatic over that too. Our second conversation was better, but still didn't solve much. I was ready to call it quits and accept we'd never agree on this, but my dad called me a few days ago with his fiancée. She didn't really apologise. Instead, she reiterated she just wanted to do something fun and didn't think it would be a big deal, but didn't mean to upset me. Knowing her, I didn't buy any of that. I told her there were numerous things she could have done that weren't the one thing she knew I was already planning on doing with my child and didn't require removing him from my place without permission. There was no way she hadn't realised it was important to me. She just didn't care. She tried denying it at first, but she couldn't give me a better explanation. After a few minutes, she started crying and said, "You get to have special moments with this baby every day. Why can't I have an hour?" That led to another small argument. In the end, I told them I didn't know what they thought would happen with that call. I'm not going to their Christmas party, and neither of them will ever babysit my son, or any other child I might have in the future, again. My dad has since apologised, specifically for the phone call, but I don't care anymore. I'm done losing hair over this. And I'm done being treated like my feelings, boundaries, and authority as my child's mother don't matter. I'm not cutting ties with my dad, but I'll do whatever I can to make sure nothing like this happens again. And I like the information diet idea some of you suggested. I definitely feel no need to share any news about my son with my dad's fiancée. As for the holidays, my eldest cousin is throwing a small party at her place on Christmas Eve, which mostly everyone who backed out at my dad's party is attending. On Christmas Day, we'll visit my in-laws and then return home to relax with our baby and play video games. Next year, we're travelling out of state to see my maternal family and go to the beach. This has been a very chaotic month, and I have no desire to waste more energy on this, so I probably won't update again. I'm not 100% satisfied with how everything worked out, but I'm glad the situation's been mostly dealt with. And this might actually be the most excited I've been about Christmas in a while. Thank you, and happy holidays. Let me tell you something. The audacity of some people is just mind-boggling, isn't it? I mean, here you have a story that's as common as Christmas itself. A parent looks forward to a special moment with their child, and someone with absolutely no concept of boundaries decides to hijack it. And then, as if that isn't bad enough, they turn around and blame you for being emotional. Are you kidding me? And the ghoul of the fiancé. I'm sorry, but taking your child without permission to fulfill her own whims? That's not just overstepping. That's sprinting past the line, waving a banner that reads, "I don't care about your feelings." You know what really grates on my nerves here? It's this notion that your dad and his fiancée think a half-hearted call where she tries to justify herself would mend things. No apology, just crocodile tears and complaining about wanting an hour with the baby? Just an hour to stomp all over meaningful experiences OP was clearly looking forward to. But hey, I guess it's not all gloom. It's frustrating, yes, and the chaos is real. But look, the update gives hope. OPs surrounding themselves with people who actually give a damn. Still, there's a lesson here for everyone. Defend your space with fierceness, because as you've seen, some folks need to be shown the door. Or at least a very clear line that says, "Don't cross." Can we all just nod to that? Drop your views below because I'm pretty sure you're boiling over this audacity too. What would you do in OP's shoes? I'm genuinely curious.
Foxy Sly Old Stody Fox says, "Good ending. Well, the best one you could realistically hope for. Your dad is, I'll put this as kindly as I can, a daft bastard who still doesn't seem to grasp what the issue is. His relationship with you has been damaged by this, and it's had ramifications with his wider family too. But he's still got his selfish, self-serving, manipulative, and deceitful girlfriend. So maybe he'll chalk that up as a win." OP responds, "It's better than I expected, honestly. I started trying to sort everything out so early in November because I thought we would still be fighting right now." Someone says, "Why can't she have an hour of special moments? Because this is your baby." I don't think she'll ever get it. Original poster. OP responds, "My son is the first baby born in my paternal family in 2 decades. So I was always a bit worried things would get too overwhelming. Turns out most of my relatives are very respectful. But this is not the first time I have had trouble with her and my dad over something related to my son. And like I mentioned in my first post, she is extremely self-centered. Part of me almost believes she did not mean to harm me, simply because I am pretty sure she does not think about anyone else's feelings." Our next story comes from External State 6113 in the Am I the Asshole subreddit. And it says, "Am I the a-hole for telling my mum that she is not seeing my children again?" For context, I am a 27-year-old mum of 2. One is 8 and one is 4. And my mum is 57 and my stepdad is 49. The father of the children left when they were very young, so I am a single mother. Every week, my mum makes me and my 2 younger brothers have a family dinner at her house on Thursdays. These dinners were always one of my favourite times of the week because I got to see my family. For the entire time we've been having these dinners, nothing has ever gone wrong. Also for context, I do have my mum babysit the kids while I'm at work, which is every day because I have to keep a roof over their heads and feed them. So last week, I finished my shift early and texted my mum that I'm coming over for dinner and to see the kids after work. I thought it was going to be a little surprise that everyone would be excited about because I usually get there late since my shifts end late. To my surprise, my mum didn't answer my text, which is unusual for her because she always has her phone on her. So I drove over to my mum's house. When I got there and opened the door, I heard screaming from upstairs. I didn't know who it was, but what I did know was I was going to check it out. I went to investigate and found both of my kids in a dark closet screaming. I asked my kids what happened and they said, "Grandma put us in the closet because I didn't finish my lunch." At this time, it was around 5 o'clock. I asked what time they had lunch and they said they didn't know, but it had been a long time. Immediately, I went to find my mum. I found her and asked why on earth she would put my kids in a closet.
She said because they were misbehaving and she thought a bit of time out would make them think about their actions. I said yes, maybe a little bit of time out, but not around 4 hours worth. Immediately, I grabbed my boys and we left and went home. My mum said that I'm over-exaggerating and that she just wanted my kids to be self-disciplined. When I got home, I asked the boys if this had ever happened before, and they said yes, but this time it was longer. In my head, I just don't like the thought of this happening ever again. I don't have the money to hire a babysitter. I don't know what to do, so can somebody please give me any ideas on what I can do? Neither of them are old enough to stay home alone after school or daycare, and I would really not like to get a third job. While writing this, my mum is trying to convince me that I should just keep having her babysit after school or daycare. But I would really not want to, and I don't think I ever want her seeing my kids again. I told her this and she got very upset. So, am I the a-hole?
A Reddit user says, check to see if your government offers daycare subsidies. You're not the asshole, but I need to ask a question to see if you should get your mom to a doctor. Has she done stuff like this to you and your brothers when you were kids? OP responds, I'll look into that, thank you. But no, she has never done anything like this to me or my brother. That's why I'm so shocked and confused. Someone says, it really may not be the best option for you, but I have known of single moms to move in together so they have someone there who is trustworthy with the kids while the other goes to work. I feel so bad for you and your kids. Locking someone in a closet for hours is traumatizing. I would get to the bottom of how long she has been doing that, and that will really define how badly your kids were truly being treated. It may have been just this, but other issues may have occurred. You are not the a-hole. Our next story comes from OneConfection6363 in the Am I the A-hole subreddit. And it says, am I the a-hole for banning my husband from Thanksgiving dinner? I, a 33-year-old female, and my husband, a 42-year-old male, have been together for 10 years, married for almost 4, and have lived together for 8. We usually spend Thanksgiving with my parents, who live down the road, and Christmas with his mum, who lives 3 hours away. In the past, he had a very demanding job, worked over 50 hours a week, and was on call at all times. Meanwhile, I work an office job with a set schedule and holidays off. I learned to cook Thanksgiving dinner for us all and always did the shopping. This year, however, my husband quit his demanding job a few months ago that was causing a lot of mental health issues and found a new job in the same field that he loves. It's lower pay and part-time, but he makes up for it financially with his eBay account, which he makes a decent amount off of. I've been thinking about Thanksgiving, but hadn't been able to get to the store like I usually do every year because, on top of my job, I'm taking college classes this semester, trying to start on my bachelor's degree. Plus, last week I came down sick with a sinus infection and was out from Monday night through Sunday. I'm still feeling stuffy and congested, but I've been going to work and wearing a mask. I asked my husband yesterday to please go to the store and get something, anything for Thanksgiving. I worked until 8, and when I got home, he was playing video games and said he forgot. But he showed me he went to the little Italian grocer's next door for lunch to get a sub, and picked up cranberry sauce. He could have gotten the other items for Thanksgiving right there, but it was too crowded. So after he got his sub, he left. I know how long that queue takes to get your sub. While he was waiting for his number to be called, he could have easily walked around and picked up the other items. So today he has a half day at work. So I asked him this morning if he could please go to the store once he gets off to get what we need for Thanksgiving. And he snapped at me. He said that this wasn't all his fault, and we both forgot. And he doesn't like how I'm telling him, you need to do this, and you need to do that. Which I didn't, I asked politely. And now he doesn't even want to do Thanksgiving because of all the pressure he feels. So I'm going to call my parents, ask them to go to the store and pick up what they can for a small Thanksgiving and spend it with them. He doesn't want to do Thanksgiving. Fine. But my parents will not be left in the lurch because of his attitude. So, am I the a-hole? Kristen SM says, you're not the arsehole. You're not even banning him as your title suggests, since he said he doesn't want to do Thanksgiving. I have to wonder though, where is the partnership in your marriage? I think it goes without saying that the spouse who has more time and is not still recovering from an illness would be the one to step in and do the grocery shopping for an upcoming holiday.
Oh my goodness, where do I even begin with this one? I mean, here we have OP juggling a full-time job, college classes, and then hit by a sinus infection on top of everything else. And the husband, well, let's just say playing video games doesn't quite match up, does it? Now, I get it. Thanksgiving shopping in crowded places can be a nightmare, but really? The audacity to go for a sub and pick up a solitary cranberry sauce while leaving the rest of the Thanksgiving shopping behind? It leaves one speechless. And let's talk about this snapping saga. He's feeling too pressured because OP asked him to pick up the slack? Unbelievable. It's a small thing, but come on, he's not making an effort. And then questioning who's to blame? Are you kidding me? Honestly, I think OP's doing the right thing by keeping Thanksgiving plans on course with her parents. It's absurd that the husband won't step up, given he's got a bit more time now. I know I'm not the only one feeling frustrated here. What do you guys reckon? Drop me your thoughts because this one is truly baffling. 2 days after the initial post about inviting her parents to Thanksgiving dinner instead of her husband, the OP returns with an update stating, "Hey everyone, thank you so much for all the comments I received about my husband not buying groceries. A little clarification for everyone. 1. Our ages have never been an issue. I pursued him, not the other way around. In no way did he groom me. I have always been attracted to guys that are older than me. And no, it's not daddy issues. I have a healthy relationship with my dad. 2. I do not do all the housework and cooking. Typically, he is actually the one that cooks because he's much better at it than I am. We will usually do grocery shopping together. He cooks and I clean for our everyday meals. So the workload is shared. It was just for holiday meals I did it all in the past because he typically had to go to work on Thanksgiving, but I am always off. 3. As some people pointed out, it reeks of depression on his part, and yes, it does, because he has actually been diagnosed with depression years ago. He is on medication but refuses to see a therapist to actually talk things out. So I am usually much more understanding, but there's only so much that I can take as well. I'm only human too. Okay, now into what you all actually want. The update. That morning after making the post, I finished getting ready for work, called my parents and asked them to pick up some groceries, which I would pick up from them on my way home from work. I called my husband, he was already at work, and told him that I was asking my parents to pick up groceries, so don't worry about it. He could hear the upset tone in my voice and asked what was wrong. I told him that I was upset over this morning, but we would talk about it later. I faltered and started talking more, but it started to turn into an argument over the phone again. He got upset that I was doing this while he was at work, but I reminded him that he was the one who brought it up. I never told him that he was banned from Thanksgiving. I wanted to wait to see if he would fix the attitude because, for me, Thanksgiving is my favourite holiday. And it's about being thankful for what you do have, not focusing on what's missing. I really didn't want to do it without him, but I was prepared to in case he didn't check himself. After we hung up and I got to work, as I pulled in the garage, he texted saying, "I love you. Can we stop until we talk?" Which I took to mean as stop arguing. So we did. I went through my day at work and we were really busy since we are closed Thanksgiving and Black Friday. I work with the public and children and it was an exhausting day. Sometime around 3, he texted me a picture of the huge stack of his eBay sales that he packed up and was taking to the post office. I didn't see it until I got off work though. When I got off at 5, I walked back to the garage with my co-workers, got in the car and did my usual routine of texting him that I was leaving work. He never asked that I do this. I choose to for personal safety, since I work downtown, so don't go jumping to conclusions saying he's controlling or whatever. My parents live about 5 minutes from my work, so I swung by their place to get what they picked up. Dad picked up 2 small, pre-cooked smoked turkeys. He told me they were buy one, get one. Broccoli, croissant rolls, and pre-cooked au gratin potatoes. Then, as I was leaving my parents, my husband called. I told him that I was leaving Mum and Dad's and what they got for Thanksgiving dinner. He then told me that he went to the store and also got food for Thanksgiving dinner. I was a little peeved because that means he didn't listen when I told him my parents were doing the shopping, but also was relieved that he realised his mistake and tried to fix it. When I got home, we both waited to cool down before talking. He picked up the same smoked turkey my dad got, but thankfully only one. He also got potatoes, 2 different types of stuffing, yams, marshmallows, King's Hawaiian rolls, green beans, cream of mushroom soup, heavy whipping cream, shredded cheese, and a pumpkin pie. He also picked up a few regular things we needed for the house, like cases of water and milk. Then we sat down and had a long discussion. It did devolve into an argument at one point because he kept trying to lighten the mood with jokes, but I just wasn't ready for that yet. So I went to the bedroom to cool off. Eventually, he came in and said he was sorry, he loved me, and he really did want to talk. I asked him if he was ready to be serious, and he said yes. I love his goofy randomness. It's part of why I chose him, but there's a time and place for it. We talked it all through. How he feels like nothing he does is good enough because I always find something else to nitpick. He took care of me while I was sick and made sure I wasn't wanting for anything the entire time I was stuck in bed. His eBay account does sell a lot because he puts a lot of effort into posting on there. And he's managed to keep a high rating because he always sends out packages quickly. He will usually box and ship about 5 to 10 packages a day. He also said how he just doesn't care for Thanksgiving anymore because we are pretty much the black sheep of every extended family on both sides. He would be more excited if it were more people rather than just the 4 of us. And it's a lot of work for just 4 people. I told him that it wasn't that he doesn't do enough, but it's specifically when he neglects to do the favors I ask of him or forgets them that makes me feel like I'm not important enough to him. It's several little things here and there that really don't matter, but all end up stacking up, and this was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I know all about forgetting. I have ADHD and forget all the time, but he has always helped me to manage it by telling me to put reminders or alarms on my phone, or even with my classwork this semester, since it's all online. Before we start watching a movie together, or I start playing my video game, he will ask me if I have any classwork that needs to be done. Because of his reminders, I've only been late with 2 assignments this semester. Both were because I was sick. After talking it out, we both seemed to have a better understanding of each other. I again told him how important Thanksgiving is for me, and that it doesn't matter that it's only the 4 of us, because when I was growing up, it was just my parents, sister, and me. And it's more about the principle of being together and thankful for what we do have. Thanksgiving morning, we watched the parade in bed. Then we got up and cleaned off the dining room table together, which was so overcrowded due to his depression and my ADHD, we haven't eaten on it in about a month. After we did that, some of the boys messaged him to get online as there was a special Thanksgiving event in the game. He did, but only enough to complete the missions and got right off. While he did that, I peeled and jabbed the potatoes and started to boil them. Then I put together the green bean casserole, croissant rolls, and turned the oven on to preheat. After he got off his game, I asked him to do the dishes that had accumulated while I was cooking. Then I got to sit down, and he started on the sweet potato casserole, stuffing, and got the turkey out of the fridge to warm up. Then he put the stuffing and the turkey into the oven to warm and finished with dinner while I went to pick up my parents. By the time I brought them back, it was all ready. I helped to set the table, and we had a very nice Thanksgiving together. At the end of the night, after I'd taken my parents home and we were just by ourselves again, he asked if I had a good Thanksgiving, and I told him yes, and asked if he did too. He also said yes. We talked some more about how we can better plan for next year. Overall, I would have been the a-hole if I had truly excluded him, but he was also the a-hole for snapping over something that, as adults, we should just suck up and do. Thank you to everyone for your comments. It really helped me to see the bigger picture. Some of your comments were way off and ridiculous though, so it helped me to laugh about the situation and see that it wasn't as bad as my rejection sensitivity was making it out to be. He's not cheating, he's not useless and lazy, and he by no means is a narcissist. We both just have things we need to work on as human beings, but it's despite both of our faults that we still love each other and are able to make it through. So again, thank you. Oh my, this is really sad. You know, sometimes you read a story and it just hits you differently, right in the feels. Here we have a couple acknowledging their struggles, admitting their faults but working hard to be better partners for one another. Now that's some serious couple goals right there. Honestly, if you found this as touching, and probably a bit outrageous in parts, as I did, you're not alone. Relationships, they can make you laugh, they can make you cry, and they make you question your sanity sometimes. But hey, that's life, isn't it? All about those ups and downs and learning to ride the waves. Any thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. Seriously, I need to hear what you all think about this roller coaster of an update. And if you're still ready for more emotional heartstrings and mind-blowing stories, don't forget to check out my other videos too. Because let's face it, there's always more drama to dive into. just waiting for all of us to unravel it together. Cheers!